Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Floyd Mayweather, who earned over $1.2 billion in his career, is now reportedly facing serious financial trouble. Despite showing off private jets, mansions, and million-dollar watches, sources claim his heavy spending, failed business ventures, and growing legal expenses have created major issues. People close to him suggest he has quietly started selling assets to manage debts, with some even warning that bankruptcy could be
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get here.
Once at the very top of sports wealth, Mayweather built an empire through fights, endorsements, and appearances. However, his fortune reportedly disappeared just as quickly as it came. Instead of securing long-term investments, he spent freely, living as if the money would never run out. Gold-plated jets and massive supercar collections became part of his lifestyle, driven by a desire to remain the richest and most extravagant athlete.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think
shit.
Close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
all right, let's see what they say. Exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather gained global attention not only for his undefeated record, but also for the massive paydays he earned. His fight with Manny Pacquiao reportedly brought in over $250 million, while his bout with Conor McGregor generated similar earnings. Often labeled the highest-paid athlete in the world, he spent heavily on luxury, throwing extravagant parties, flying friends on private jets, and gambling millions as part of his daily routine.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
His financial issues extend beyond spending. Mayweather has been linked to multiple legal controversies tied to risky business decisions. In 2022, he was involved in a class action lawsuit related to a cryptocurrency project that critics labeled a pump and dump. Although the case was dismissed, it raised concerns about his involvement in hype-driven ventures. Later, he faced another lawsuit accusing him of ordering his bodyguard to attack a man, with damages exceeding $3 million, further highlighting a pattern of risky behavior.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's life.
Joe Rogan openly criticized Mayweather, suggesting he may have neglected his tax responsibilities. Rogan warned that regardless of wealth, failing to handle taxes properly can lead to serious consequences with authorities like the IRS. He also pointed out that Mayweather's flashy lifestyle could be hiding deeper financial struggles, a pattern seen in many wealthy individuals before their downfall.
Owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been. It's not like deception.
No,
it's just neglect to pay.
Neglect, and it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, "Hey, it's time to pay your taxes," and you go like, "All right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money." And then they go, "That's true, but you owe 50 more," and he's just like, "That can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
The situation draws comparisons to Mike Tyson, who once earned hundreds of millions but ultimately declared bankruptcy due to overspending. Tyson's extravagant lifestyle, including mansions, exotic pets, and luxury items, mirrors the path Mayweather appears to be taking. While Mayweather continues to display wealth through cars, jewelry, and properties, reports...
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. It was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada yada yada, it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality, you know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. They start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement, or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching the sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains.
Ironically, Mayweather has often spoken about financial strategies like buy low, sell high, especially in real estate. However, his actions seem to contradict those principles. While no one questions his greatness in boxing, his defense, timing, and undefeated career cement his legacy. His financial decisions outside the ring appear far less disciplined and more impulsive.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm going to just take boxing, for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. Yes. He became the villain.
Even his uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has expressed concern. In interviews, Jeff admitted he no longer understands Floyd's unpredictable financial behavior, especially his investment choices. According to him, Floyd tends to jump into business deals without a clear plan, often driven by ego rather than strategy, raising doubts among financial experts.
No idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, to better his life, like, buying homes and buying, different things, and so I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I haven't seen him in quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
Mayweather's issues with the IRS have also raised red flags. Reports suggest federal authorities once urged him to sell properties to settle tax debts, warnings that were allegedly ignored. When tax authorities begin taking such steps, it often signals serious financial mismanagement. Ignoring these obligations may have only worsened.
I'm at least back reporting. You've guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. Hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
In response to tax rumors, Mayweather claimed he paid $26 million to the IRS. However, instead of resolving concerns, the statement raised more questions. Critics debated whether the payment covered the full amount or came too late. Some believe it was more of a public relations move aimed at controlling the narrative rather than addressing the core issue.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, 26 million.
They just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas. Here, take care.
Mayweather later stated that he invested $42 million into real estate, claiming ownership of 62 buildings in Manhattan without partners. However, critics have questioned the accuracy and timing of this claim, especially given his alleged financial struggles. His continued focus on luxury, cars, watches, and extravagant displays adds pressure to a lifestyle many believe is unsustainable. Reports suggest he spends more than he earns monthly, worsening the situation with high taxes on luxury purchases. His recent attention-grabbing stunts, like traveling in an armored tank, further highlight a pattern of prioritizing image over financial stability.